Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Send your request into designs@patioheat.com for your personalized recommendations. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have this residential covered patio, and let's go right into the dimensions first of all. So dimensions I have here are roughly 16 feet from here to the inner edge over here, and then the inside post I have 14.2. Over here I have 24 foot from the outside edge to the outside edge. Over here you can see I have a height of about 8'4", and then on the inside you can see 8'8". So we do have a slope ceiling in here, and you can see the slope that I have here. I have 1/4 inch for every foot of distance that we're going in towards the residence here. And we have a seating position over here for our, dining position here, and a reclining position over here. Now I placed some large sofas here, but it might be set up a little bit differently. There's also a sliding door and a window. There are going to be some lighting fixtures, but they want to work around the heaters for that determination where to place the lights. Not sure about a fan, but if a fan goes in here, there are going to be some changes that are going to be based off that fan structure as well as the actual dimensions of the fan. So just keep that in mind, and we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and look at some of the options. So as I mentioned, slope ceiling, they would like to have a recessed heater in here. And with a slope going this direction, so this is the low side, this is the high side, I can only imagine that there are rafter systems that are going this way. In fact, I did receive an image that shows the rafters, ceiling rafters going, ceiling joists going this direction. And so the only way that you can place a unit in here is going parallel with those ceiling joists. But as a slope ceiling, placing a unit inside here, you need to keep the unit level. If the unit's not level, then the heater itself will malfunction. So here's some 6,000 watt units. Now I'm not choosing these, I'm showing these because one issue that I had right off the bat was the fact that we don't have the distance from over here to meet the clearances. So clearances to combustibles are not met below, and same is true over here. So I'd have to push these units very close to each other in order to put 6,000 watt units in. And if I was to do that, let's just go, let's see what that actually is. It looks like about 11 inches right up to that divider right there. And then over here, we'd have to go at least 18 inches in order to make this work here. So you can see here, 18, and that's 18 inches from the wall, and we're still not making that clearance yet. So we would be very close. There's about 18-inch clearance, and then you can see now the footprint of heat. We have a lot of overlapping here in the middle, not so much over here. You can see that we're not covering this distance over here as well. So if this is the true seating position, then maybe we'd have to look at a different option. So I'm going to just leave that as a no-go and turn off this and turn the heaters off themselves, and then look at another option. So being that it's slope ceiling, the ceiling itself is going to be a tongue and groove style ceiling. And the best way to do something like this would be to place some units going in this direction. So these are slimline 4,000 watt units, 18 inches of clearance from here to the edge of the heaters, and then 18 inches of clearance minimum over here, which you can see I've met even more than that 18 inches. and then 36 inches down. So it's 18 inches on all four sides, 18 inches, 36 inches down. And on the top, there is a 6-inch clearance above the heater itself here with the OEM brackets pointed straight down to the ground. No issue whatsoever. So this would be my preferred if you were to not alter the actual structure itself. Let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat and see how that coverage looks. So with this and that mounting height, you know, roughly between that 8, I think it was 8.4, 8.8 in the back here, I think you get a very good coverage. Now, you know, we're not hitting this space over here, so you know the seating arrangement might be need to be changed slightly in order to get the, you know, best coverage. But placing another, you know, let's say 2 more units in here, I think would be overkill. But let's just go ahead and see what that might look like. So we're gonna go ahead and move everything so we can see what that coverage might be. And let's see if I can do that properly. I'm gonna go with let's just go with 36 inches, and we'll take these over here and we will move them an additional, say, 8 feet this direction here, and that would probably be too far, and you can see, but that would be you know, a lot of good coverage here. So let's go ahead and move these back here an additional maybe 6 inches over here, and let's see if we can get that properly. And here we go. We're gonna go with this, try 6 here, and we'll go with 12, and there you can see we have probably the best coverage right there. So that would be overall coverage, but I'm gonna go ahead and go back because I don't like to, you know, try to push that many units in this type of environment. So I think it'd be best to maybe adjust your seating position, or maybe the seating position that they actually have is going to be more towards, you know, facing out this direction. So in any case, that's what I would recommend for a flat ceiling. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn that off and then come up with some other ideas that might help. So looking up at the ceiling, you can see the ceiling joist going this direction, and if you were to try to place a unit recessed into the ceiling, or so a flush mount unit, then you're going to need to have a different structure. So I'm going to take this off here a little bit and go ahead and put in some additional structure pieces. And basically what this is, I'm going to go from this angle over here. Basically what you're seeing here is maybe some you know, strips of 2 by whatever height that might be. This might be just a, you know, 1/8 of an inch. This might be somewhere about 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, and so on. So that you have a nice level ceiling that you can actually mount some units to. So let me go ahead and turn off the top here. We'll take a look at what I'm kind of doing. Also, because of these ceiling joists, you're going to have to reinforce those, and I'm going to stop again and say, you know, for just to make sure you're aware, I am not a structural engineer. You're going to have to talk to somebody about this type of setup, but I've seen things like this done before. But in any case, what I would recommend is now that you have a flat ceiling, or a place to place a flat ceiling, so we'll go ahead and place that ceiling in here. We have openings for 5,000 watt units. These are the flush mount 5,000 WD 5024s. Let's go ahead and put those in here and see how those look. So this is the actual 5,000 watt 1 hour rated drywall that you'd have to place inside of the enclosure up here. And I actually have the flush mount attached to the same elevation as the bottom of these added pieces that I had mentioned before. And now you have the units sitting just inside of or on top of the tongue and groove. So whatever that height of the tongue and groove is going to be, I have it, showing here at approximately a half an inch or something of that nature. You're going to need to drop the heater down itself. The unit itself needs to be moved at the same elevation of the heater itself. Let's see if I can get that back here. So you need to move it, and it needs to be at the same elevation as the ceiling. So if you look here, the elevation of the heater, if this is combustible, needs to be the same. Also, you need to make sure you have at least a half inch of gap between the combustible and, actually it could be even stucco. If you have stucco up here, it still needs to be a half inch to allow for the ventilation, the proper ventilation of the openings of these holes here. So all around half inch of opening or exposure of the actual flush mount kit itself. So you have the flush mount kit, you have the 1 hour rated firewall, which is drywall, and then also the unit itself inside there. These are 5,000 watt units, and let's go ahead and look at what the footprint of heat would be for something of this nature, and see how that heats up this area. So again, we're not heating up the entire space. On the left here we're missing, on the right here we're missing. We've got good crossover here and good crossover here. So this whole space here basically is going to be very well heated. Let's go ahead and take this off here for a second. You can kind of see what that footprint of heat would look like. And another thing I just want to mention is the clearance needs to be from the heater, not the actual flush mount, but from the heater, 18 inches minimum. I have it a little bit further away. If you looked at the clearances here below, actually I don't have them listed on here, so it needs to be a minimum of 18 inches. Sorry about that. Let's get it back in here. Minimum of 18. So over here I believe I have it at 18 inches. In fact, let's just go ahead and do a quick distance on the actual heater itself. You can see here, and see if I can get that in there properly. So here we have just under 18, so it needs to be 18 on this side. And then from center of heater to center of heater, let's try that again and see what we can come up with on here. Let's go over here and go from there to there. You can see we have just 7 feet of distance. And again, if we look over here, we're going to go and see what that distance is going to be. We're going to grab a hold of right here for this purpose and see what we can do here. So yeah, we're at 2.5 feet roughly on that. So in any case, that's what my recommendation if a flush mount kit was going to be used. The situation with this actual application is the structure is already built, and so you'd have to alter the structure in order to make that flush mount system really work. Another thing I'd mention too was with a flush mount system, even with the 5,000 watt units at this elevation, definitely you'd want to have a control system, because there's going to be times, and this is in Southern California, there's going to be times where it's too hot at times, and then you're going to want to turn it down a little bit, and of course you'd want the full max when it's down in the mid 40s or upper 50s. So all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetized. YouTube does not promote our channel in any way unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers. We thank you so much. Have an excellent day.